Hello and welcome to Just Like Me. I'm here with Linda Double Dam, and I'm so excited to introduce you to her today because Linda has the title, the privilege, the she's kind of famous in our community, I always say, because she was the very first member of our membership site, and I think it's a funny story because she became a member before our membership site was even public. She somehow was on our membership site and on our my website before we had launched the membership site and found that sign up button before we told anybody it was there and signed up. So we were like, wow, this is going to be easy. People are signing up before we've even told them it's here.
Yeah, that's your big vibe.
And here she still is. I think we're in our, I forget what year we started the membership site now. I haven't kept such close track of that. 4 years maybe?
Yeah, I think at the end of 2011.
Yeah.
Yeah, November,
Yeah,
something like
November.
that.
Yeah, so it'll be almost 4 years then at the end of
Yeah.
this year. Yeah. So, yeah, so that's my memory of Linda.
And she never left.
And she
Yeah.
didn't leave. But yeah, and I didn't have such close contact with people prior to the membership site. So I'm going to let Linda tell you a little bit more about how she came to Namaste Yoga and the membership site, fill in the gaps prior to that.
Okay. Yeah, how did I come to the membership site? I found you, online, like everyone else, I think. But in that time, you were not having a membership site. So I think it was through Yoga Yak. I saw Ivy's interview and I thought, oh yeah, that was the one. You were there and there were all kinds of videos, but I stuck with you, I think, for a year or something. Yeah, the beginner yoga classes. It was right. I was doing yoga I am doing yoga now for about 25 years. I think I started 25 years ago, and I studied with a teacher in Rotterdam. He was a Iyengar teacher. So my first memories of yoga were pretty tough, I think, when I look back at it, because it was pretty hard school Iyengar, and it was really like, whoa, this was struggle. It was really physical. It was heavy. It was not talking. It was, yeah, okay. But at that time, I liked it because I was then a bit different than now. I think so. I liked the bit of rough and hard and feeling my body and aching and whipping myself up. So in that time it was the right kind of yoga for me. So but during the years some things changed. So when I found you after all kinds of adventures where I will not go into now, I came back to yoga because there was something missing, something lacking in my life. I think I had a major burnout in 2012, and that went into a very heavy depression, which it took me several years to recover. Mentally. Physically it was another story. So at that time, after the burnout, I was I think 10 years ago I was looking for more connection with myself, because that was needed, because getting a burnout for me was because I just went on and on, didn't stop anymore, and so literally burned out. So what I needed was more, what I say, connection with myself, with my inner self. Who am I? What am I missing? So yoga came along on that path again, and there was you, who I think that the major thing what attracted me in the videos was the easy going, the normalness, the like, hey, I'm just like yeah, I'm just like you. I'm a teacher, okay, but I have my limitations. I have my things. Huh? We're all people, real people. So that was the
Yeah.
biggest thing, and I stuck with that. And then you decided to open up a membership site, and I was really like, yes, this is for me. I need this. I need more. I want not to do only yoga, but I want to, yeah, express myself or think about it, go deeper into all kinds of topics. So, yeah, that was the start.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you say that because since you were there right from the beginning, what was available right at the beginning, it makes me nostalgic for what we did right at the beginning. The very first thing we did on the membership site was a retreat.
Yeah,
So it was very inward focused. Actually, the first retreat was,
the silence day. Yeah,
yeah, actually, let's show
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That was really intense. I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, the first retreat was an embracing self retreat. Oh, for goodness sakes. It's checking my subscription.
You have to log in, huh? Okay.
Tim,
Don't do it again,
I
Melissa.
know we'll have to fix this recording. Actually, let's just try it again. Oh, now it's doing it. Okay, we'll just have to start. Okay, are you looking at my screen now?
It's turning. Yeah, I see something happening.
Okay. So, yes, the first thing we put on the membership site was a retreat, and you spoke about it being very inward focus or wanting that inward focus at the beginning. First thing was an at-home self-retreat, and the focus was turning inward. And as you say, it was all about the first thing was a day of silence. So it doesn't get much more inward than that. And even there's been some discussion about this recently on the membership site about this first class on the membership site, which is about embracing self. It's a great class because there's been a lot of talk about journaling lately too. It's a great class to do with your journal where you come and you sit down with your journal and there's lots of reflective questions that gets you to look at your relationship with yourself too. So I just thought that was so interesting that was what you said you were looking for at the beginning of your journey. So
Yeah,
definitely what we started with, and that was the only thing on the membership site when you started.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't remember, but I remember this weekend. Yeah, it was nice because this is it was the start of a lot of I think a lot of changes in myself. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, so that was the beginning. And then, was there anything else you wanted to say about that?
Yeah, I think in the beginning it was because I came from the first start. It was really easy to follow everything and to pick up new things but soon I think in half a year it was a kind of like whoa, it went so quickly. There came so many new members and classes, and it was really hard for me in the beginning to keep up with it. Like, oh, I want to follow everything, I want to do everything, I want to just really react to every command. And so after a while, very soon, I realized, hey, come on, this is not possible. And I think for new members, I really believe that it can be a bit frightening. Like, there is so much, where do I start? And I really like this format, what you're doing now, by introducing me and the other members, to talk also about that, like, hey, how do we do that? Because for me it's the same. Sometimes it's still a bit of a struggle because I'm anxious to learn and I want to see more and I want to do everything, but it's not possible. So I was just thinking today also what I do is I changed from my practice changed also because of that, because I cannot follow everything. So in the years that I'm a member now, my practice changed from doing 1 hour yoga class every day into a very integrated practice of what I need. And that changed from, in the beginning I only wanted to do long classes, everything. And I remember also that you talked about doing smaller shorter classes, because that was also a question of people, and I was really like, come on, why I needed a full hour to get into it. But I know now that my classes are I do a lot of the shorter ones, and especially the themed more multi-day videos, because I like it to get more into one theme for a longer time. So I think because you can choose now, there is more opportunity to find what you want. For me, it's very important to. Sometimes I just do a very small thing, like a 5-minute thing, and that was, for me, it's unbelievable that I made this. It is a progression for me, like doing coming from the Iyengar tough classes to allowing myself to do a 5-minute breathing practice, or just do legs up the wall quickie, because I need it. I really learned through being a part of the community to listen to my needs, and it's a physical need, or it's an emotional or a spiritual need. And I think that's in the course of the years you made a big you too made a big effort, but also a growth into providing all these sections, because you can choose now. You can really see what is important, what do I need. You can there is all, and always there's the focus on the learning of being your own best teacher. That is something which is very important to me too, what you always learn, and it comes back always in some of the classes. And I think it's a very important item, being your own teacher, learning what you need, and that's the way for me to develop.
Yeah, I think that's what keeps people, our long-term members that have been here around the longest. I think that's what keeps them, is that they have been, I mean, you all are, but in the way that you are empowered to be your own best teacher, so that you are in charge of your own practice and your own learning and your own progression. I mean, that's hugely empowering.
Yeah, and that's also that what I discovered, that I don't need so many new classes anymore. In the beginning, I thought I want a new class every week. No, it's I can do with this content for years now. I think, because I can do an old class again. I can go back to a series of themes, because I want to explore more, because I change. So I do a class different. I do an asana different now, because I can find more in a class. And that's I think it's a very powerful, what for me, the change, but also the content which is now already available is a complete picture. So everything you add now is more depth,
Yeah.
like what you're doing now with the new. I forgot the name of the new section, the postures
Postures and
and
pranayama.
yeah,
Yeah.
that is really it's going deeper, and I love it. It's really nice. It's very interesting. Yeah.
So that makes me think of two things. One is that, our membership site is meant to be, there's three pillars to our membership site, and one is value-added content, and there's a lot of that already. And two is that our intention is to support your personal practice and to provide a community of like-minded yogis from around the world. And as you say, and Tim says all the time, there's enough value-added content there. There
Yeah.
is. And we feel now that our intention and our work now is to support you more in your practice. And so that's why we're doing things, that's why things like the weekly challenge, the membership minutes, those are probably more important than putting out content now, because they help you to engage with what's already there, right?
Yeah.
Things like
Yeah.
the flowing with the phases of the moon, the things like the book clubs, all those help you to, anything that can help you to engage with what's already there, take your practice to a deeper level. Those are more important than new content at this time, because there's a lifetime of content there already now.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah. No, it's true. Yeah.
Whenever somebody asks for new content, actually it probably already exists in some form. So yeah, as you say, you're a constantly evolving person, and when you can go back to content that already exists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what for me is a nice tool is that you can subscribe to a kind of topic, huh? In the yeah, I don't, maybe you can show it to the members. What I do, I have a subscription, and I get a new post in my email box whenever it's out, and that can be the weekly challenge or the meditation groups. So it's very handy on top of with the notifications or settings. I don't know,
Yeah.
somewhere up.
Shall we
Yeah.
go into maybe some of your
Yeah.
favorite parts or videos, and then you can maybe show us what parts you have subscriptions in, and I can show people how to do that too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I like to begin with the meditation group, because
Okay.
that's really important. Became I think the most important place this year, last
Yes.
year. Yeah. So I really like to be a part of the meditation group, because for a long time, I always wanted to meditate, but never got myself seriously involved in doing it every day. And by joining the group now makes me committed. It makes it so much easier, because we're all beginners. There is no goal. And that is part. You too, Michelle and Melissa, I really admire you, because it is so open. And although it sounds like, oh, they are already in week 38, it's not. It's every week we focus on just being with ourselves, with a new topic or with a new theme or whatever. You can join in, you can hop in, because it's all about being with yourself in meditation. And it really, I like everyone to go meditating, because it it enriched
puts
my
you-
life so much.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah.
I can't say enough about meditation either. It's one of the most challenging practices. It'll put you pretty much in contact with whatever is happening in your life, and sometimes that's beautiful, and sometimes that's not so beautiful.
Yeah. True.
I mean, and I am honest about what happens in my practice. Last week I had I had a really crap week in my meditation, and I wrote about it here too. So
Yeah.
you can write about whatever is happening on your meditation cushion. Um, so I'm going to show you. Let's see. Here's the thread tools. Here's
Oh
where you
yeah.
can subscribe to this thread if you
Yeah.
want to. Yeah. So if you
And
wanted to
it's
make sure you got notifications if you'd
yeah.
post it. I wanted to show too how you can reply to the thread because some people don't know how to do that either. So if you wanted to reply to Michelle's original post, you can reply there, and then you would reply with her post in there, and then you would just type in whatever you want and post quick reply. Or you can just post below, and then it would be posted. You post quick reply there too. And then I do also want to show that you can join in absolutely any time. We focus our focus for the meditation group is on the breath. So I want to show that we have a beginner's meditation instructions in the multi-day series section here too, so that if you want some instructions on how to meditate, they are all here.
Yeah.
There's how to prepare your body to sit, because it can be challenging to sit. This is a short yoga practice that will help you sit. And then here's actually how to sit. It goes over 3 different ways to sit: one in a chair, one kneeling, one sitting cross-legged. And then here goes over the instructions on how to be with your breath, which is actually how we meditate in the meditation group. And then if it feels too scary to just sit alone at the beginning, we also have in the membership site, in our community playlist section, we have over 60 guided meditations as well. So you can, if you feel like you want support in your meditation practice, you can follow any of these guided meditations as well. So I just wanted to show that those are there too to support you in your meditation practice to get going. But as Linda said, you are welcome to join in the meditation group at any time as well.
Yeah, it's really enriching for me. Yeah. And I think for everyone who is part of it now, it's like all the places I think in the community, it's a safe place. You can express yourself, you can share your experiences, your fears or your anxiety, and just yeah, you are received with an open mind, and that's a really yeah, very good, because that's what you want. What I want is to be there, I can be there I can be myself and not hesitate of writing what I huh?
Yeah, absolutely. And Michelle is one of the most supportive, loving people.
Yeah, she's
She's
very
just,
sweet. Yeah.
she's very sweet. And she leads the meditation group, and she's just done a wonderful job of it. We just couldn't have a better leader for this section. So, yeah, I agree. Yeah. Fabulous. What else? Where else can we find you on the membership site?
We're now talking about meditation. What I always also want to highlight is that in my yoga practice, besides having a regular morning practice with all kinds of things like the morning asanas on the ball and the tapping, and I have a lot of things I do in the morning. I also almost regularly, almost every day, I think I do a yoga nidra practice in the after my lunch, because I really need to be aware of my energy, which is never too high. So what I do now for quite a long time is the yoga nidra from also let me see. from the yoga for recuperation. Yeah,
Yes.
it's in there, and I think practically every day it's really nurturing.
Yeah. So this is, I'll let you guys in on a little secret now. This is my second time interviewing Linda for this because I didn't capture the video last time. So she's graciously done this again. And when she told me this last time, this blew my mind because I felt like, wow, I had the secret to Linda's beautiful disposition when she told me this, because I was like, wow, that's why she's so calm and cool and refreshed now, because she does
Yes.
this yoga nidra every day. And I was blown away when I heard this, and I felt like I've got it. I'm going to do this every day now. And I have to say, I did it once.
Yeah.
But
Mm.
I have been, I have, let me report back, but I'm being a little hard on myself because I've gotten this new headband that I've been wearing for the migraines that I get, and I have to wear it 3 times a day right now. So I have been lying down, like, so I put it on first thing in the morning, and then I do it midday for 20 minutes too.
Okay.
So I have been lying down with that on for 20 minutes in the middle of the day. So I am getting some kind of lie down in the middle of the day now too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that just blew my mind when you first told me about that. So tell us more about how you felt this impact has impacted your life, this lie down in the middle of the day.
Yeah. Hugely, I think it's really like I am a person who is always engaged in something. When I say to people, I didn't do anything today, that's not true.
Yeah.
I'm always busy, and okay, that's part of me. I like it, but I really had to learn after the burnout too to yeah, how do you say that, to be more aware of where is my energy going and how can I save a little bit, because I can do a lot, but then in the end I'm totally exhausted at about 6 7, and then I cannot do anything. I even reading a book or something is too much, and then you're building up exhaustion. And I can have a lot of exhaustion, but in the end, it's sore shoulders, sleeping problems. So I discovered that I have, for me, the best thing to do is to build in small parts in my day to recover, to really to stare out of the window, to do legs up the wall, to do a small breathing practices. So when I'm at home or visiting friends, I can say, okay, I'm going to lie down. Huh? So that's the easy part. I am at home mostly because I do my things at home, so that's good. But when I'm away or when I'm traveling or when I'm out, I still can do very small things. And that's what I learned to do also, I think, mostly this last year. I think the last year was a big transformational year for me. In some all the things fell into place. So I learned much more how to nurture myself, how to look good after myself. So the yoga nidra has become a big part of it. Yeah, when I'm feeling exhausted, and which I do now in the end of the winter, it's just like that. So instead of fighting it, like, come on,
Yeah, yeah,
you can do it, you can help, you can do something more. I say no, I just do this. It cost me a half an hour.
yeah.
So, and then I'm refreshed. I don't sleep, or I'm not going out or whatever. No, I just do the yoga nidra. It calms me down. My emotional center gets quiet, and that's the thing. It's really quiets me down. So I have more energy at the end of the day. So good for me, and I think for a lot of people.
Yeah,
when they have the opportunity. Yeah,
especially for vatas, because vatas just are continuously moving. They just can't stop moving. It's that creative energy. It's incredible.
yeah,
But vatas do need to stop and ground themselves. Pittas too tend to be really fiery, competitive. They just got this drive, and that fire needs some cooling too.
yeah.
Kaphas, on the other hand, would be happy just to lie on the couch, and they need a little kick in the butt sometimes, to keep going.
Yeah,
So it depends on your constitution, right? Kaphas would be like, "Oh yeah, I have a nap every afternoon. I've been doing that my
good.
whole life," right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, you got to check in with your own constitution, and it like as you say, go went against your nature, and it's like that. One of my teachers says that self love has to be tough love sometimes. Yeah, and so
yeah,
it was good tough love, love it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's just like the best advice ever. Yeah. Okay.
So keep on trying.
Well, I am lying down.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
It's
it's
a
kind of weird for me to listen to myself too.
yeah, yeah. Every day we have a new opportunity, but it's true. Yeah, and that's the fun thing too. We're not perfect. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I was striving before, about 10 years before, always striving to be a perfect mother, perfect lover, perfect everything.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's
now,
exhausting.
yeah, that's exhausting. And not a little bit, but really.
Yeah.
So letting those things go is a big help too. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Awesome.
choosing your own way. That's for me. It's a big thing too. Like it's my life, it's my thing. It's everything. What's good for me is good for the rest. So
Yeah.
that's a bit of my new, not the other way. Normally I was looking after the others, and that was good for me, but that was not good for me
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, so what else are you going to show us here?
Um, the menopause series, I like to highlight them too because I love them. I love being a part of making the recipes for it, but also they are great. I think for women of all stages, of all ages, it's really interesting to dive into those themes beforehand or after or during. It doesn't matter because in the end we're all women. And we have all hormonal systems every month who are going through a cycle. So it's a really powerful practices too. I don't see anything on screen now, so I hope it's
Oh,
going
jeez.
going fine.
Let's see. There we go. Let's find it. It's not going again, is it?
No, I see you, but only the picture.
How about now?
Yeah,
Okay,
there it
great.
is.
Let's see let's go back to the forum. I will find the menopause series. So it's past the long videos. It's in the multi-day series. And there it is, the menopause series. And Erica spoke a lot about this section too. And it's fabulous for any woman, and I love how she created a lot of awareness around it. What I'd love to show is your contribution to it, which was the fabulous recipes. So why don't you tell us about how you created the recipes for this section?
Okay. Yeah, I think we talked about it together. Like you were creating some lessons around 3 sections, 3 periods in the menopause, and for every section you wanted a kind of theme. So for this green mang dal rice bowl, the focus was to get better bones. So it was the calcium and the especially the focus on how to get more calcium into your food. So this is a very rich in calcium by all the ingredients I put in, like the almonds, the green leaves, and the lentils.
Mm-hmm.
So for every part, I made especially for what you wanted to highlight, I made a recipe, and it was really fun
was so
doing
fun
it
to do
like
it,
that.
yeah.
It was I had so many ideas, like it was easy. It was easy
Yeah.
working because it was just like, okay, then I make this. Oh, for that I do that, and blah. So
Yeah,
it was really wonderful. Yeah,
this was the focus on estrogen,
yeah.
phytoestrogens.
So we eat. This is with the beetroot, the avocado. Oh, just a moment. Yes. Oh, yeah, that was my son.
Yeah.
He's handling the oven right now.
Nice.
Okay, so it was beetroot, avocado, and kelp, or what is it? Nori, seaweed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Easy to make and really delicious.
Yeah. And you'll see, like, Linda makes the most delicious recipes, and she makes them visually appealing too, just so beautiful for our eyes to feast on as well. And we focused a lot on that in the Eating Like a Yogi course too, how important it is to create meals that are delicious for our eyes as well, to make them visually appealing on our plate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's very important because I think eating is very important, not only to nurture yourself, but also to really give your body a sign like, wow, this is good for you. Because the more color you eat, I think the more healthy you eat too.
Yeah. And then these just look so delicious, and you can just see how deliciously fatty they are too. Important fats, essential fatty acids. This can be, in the postmenopausal years, as you age, your body dries out. It's the vata time of life, and you need tons and tons of good fats at that time of your life. And so this is a great recipe that loads up on all those good fats. Yeah.
And easy to make. Really, because I like to write my recipes so that they are accessible for people, and it's not always easy, but I think most of the recipes are easy to do. Maybe a lot of ingredients because I like flavor,
Yeah.
building flavor, so you need ingredients, but in the end when you start eating more healthy, I think you're going to buy different things, so you stock up more ingredients, so it gets easier. Maybe you don't have everything in your cupboard, but you can be creative or leave some things out.
Yep. And there's a nice PDF that you can print it out if you want to print it out and put it in your kitchen if you're used to doing it that way. And then I do want to show Linda's section in the membership site, because so many people, when they come to the membership site, say that one of their intentions is to eat in a more healthy way. And Linda has just had a beautiful practice of karma yoga here, of giving so many gorgeous recipes that you can try and make and follow. There's pages of them here. There's 3 pages of them here. So you put up a new one this week.
Yeah.
This gorgeous banana bread. Looks so good.
Yeah, and this was the latest, yeah. And I was a bit in dubio because there are eggs involved and butter. So I'm always trying to give vegan recipes, but I thought, okay, I'm just doing it. So when people want a vegan version, I can make it too. But I'm not a vegan, but I try to eat, 90% vegan or
Yeah.
something. So sometimes I eat eggs or
Yeah, we eat
um,
eggs and butter now too. We live in a part of the country now where we have access to
good
great
stuff.
farming practices here, so yeah, whereas we didn't before.
Yeah.
Then there's this gorgeous, you just did this beautiful winter quinoa salad with creamy coriander tahini dressing. What you said about building flavors, is amazing. The dressings really make the salads and
Yeah, I also cook from the season, and that's not always available for people around the world, I think. But I already there are about 50 recipes now, I think. So I try to really eat what the season offers. So also for a recipe like this, I use the things that are around in my neighborhood, but maybe you have different kind of vegetables around, so you can always swap things. But that is what I really like, is to be to inspire people. Like, hey, this is nice. I can use this dressing for something else, and
yeah,
that's totally fine by me.
yeah,
It's just like, hey, you can do this too with
yeah,
quinoa, or you can do this with a butternut squash, whatever. Yeah.
yeah. Which makes me think, so whether you're in the northern hemisphere or the southern hemisphere, you're going to be able to find recipes for every season. And like that made me think of a rice bowl that you have. Here it is. So this rainbow bowl, which is so great, you can be really creative with it. Like you could swap out that dressing for this dressing. You
Yeah.
could trade them out, and whatever vegetables you have in season, you could trade. Like those bowls could be made interchangeably. You could trade the dressings, you could trade the vegetables, that kind of
Yeah.
thing. You could trade the
Yeah.
grains. That's where the cooking can get creative, and these recipes can become jumping off points as well.
Yeah. I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, do you have any favorite recipes on here that you would like to highlight?
Yeah, several, I think.
Yeah.
I think the very first one was really like the oatmeal with the carrots.
Oh, yeah, that's a
It was
favorite.
really like starting with what? Okay, starting. Yeah, the first thing I thought, it must be breakfast, because that's my first meal. So
Yeah,
it was really it was so fun to make, and it was nice. It's vegetables and it's sweet and it's really nourishing. So, and also for this recipe, when you cannot have oats, you can replace it by another grain or whatever. I
yeah,
think most people eat carrots, and also the nut milk you can change for normal milk or for coconut milk or whatever.
yeah. I've
So
made this bowl with quinoa, and I've made it with buckwheat groats too. Yeah, so yummy. It's like
and it's
carrot muffins in a bowl.
Yeah, and I love it too. I don't make it so much, but once in a while I think, oh, because it is a bit of work,
It
but
is a
you
bit of
can
work.
make it for 2 days or
Yeah,
for 4 days. That's what I do often. I make a big bowl so I can eat for 2 days. Yeah.
yeah. I like the idea of making it ahead. Yeah. You anything? What else?
I'm a big soup fan, so
Yeah,
there are already some soups
lots
on
of
it, and I
soups.
think this is my biggest snack. I think for a lot of people who are struggling with health, with weight things, I think for me eating soup is like a snack. At about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, when I'm getting a bit hungry, and I normally have a pan of soup somewhere.
Ah,
I I make soup 2-3 times a week, so there's always soup in my house. So when I'm really like, I want to eat something, I think, oh,
yeah,
gonna make some soup.
yeah,
Yeah, it's easy, it's quick, it's cheap, and there's you
yeah,
can make soup from everything. So
yeah.
soup is my big love.
Yeah, that's a great advice. And going back to the constitutions, if you're Vata, you tend to be more dry. And so it doesn't surprise me that you like soup because
Yeah.
you're a Vata and it's great to eat wet, warm food for you. So that's great that you're eating lots of soup. So if you are a Vata
Yeah.
constitution, soup, so good for you. Warm. Vatas tend to be cold, so those warm, wet foods,
Yep.
so good for you. Yeah.
And also in summer, I eat soup
Yeah,
almost every
yeah,
day. Yeah, it's
yeah,
good. What I also like is I made this bite-sized mint chocolate things
yeah,
for
yeah, for
Trinity.
Trinity. That was part of the family retreat. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was nice because I never ate mint chocolate brownies in my life. Never. I was really like, wow, this is nice. I was asking, what do you like? Ooh, I never heard of it. So it
I
was a
know.
nice struggle. And I made it vegan. And the green thing that's made of avocado, I think. Yeah. So
Yeah, I
it was
remember
really
you being
nice.
like a
Yeah.
little suspicious, like, I'm not sure about this. I'm like, trust me, it's we do this mint chocolate flavor thing all
Is
the
this
time in North
nice?
America.
Yeah. So it was fun too. Like, okay, I can do it, but I never ate it. But I liked it too, yeah.
That was funny. Yeah, I'm like, trust me. I remember you being so skeptical about that,
Yeah.
but it all turned out.
Yeah.
These are great for snacks too. These energy balls.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so great.
Nice to take with you, yeah. And also, yeah, they're easy to make. To just throw
Yeah.
everything in the blender and make balls. Yeah.
Yeah, I took these with me. I took them on retreat with me when I knew I'd heard ahead of time that the food was not like very ample, and I knew I was going to be hungry.
Yeah.
And I had people coming to my cabin at night.
Do you have some more of those
Yeah,
balls?
because they knew I had some food. And
Yeah.
yeah, they needed to be fed. They weren't.
Yeah.
I wasn't the only one that was hungry.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah,
I have celiac disease, so for me it's normal to I always have
always bring
something in my
food.
bag. I
Yeah,
always take
me too.
some easy going food with me.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I have so many opportunities that there's nothing to eat for
yeah,
me, so it's part of taking care of myself. Yeah.
yeah. And then it's funny, usually people are like, wow, your food's so good. They always end up eating it too.
Yeah. Wow, it looks so appealing, so
Yeah.
healthy. Ooh.
This is great too. I love these salad dressing ideas. I think this is great to know. Anything to make your salads more interesting and appealing, because I know we eat salads or either warm salads or raw salads at every meal, and just the way you dress it makes a huge difference.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you cannot have too many dressings
No.
in your head or on paper or in this library. Yeah, it's good
Yeah.
because you can make an easy everyday salad with a new dressing, and it's a new thing.
Yeah, it totally shifts everything. So
Hmm.
this just reminded me of this, and finding a new one. It's just it's great to if you find one that your family likes, you're just really on the
Yeah.
you're in a good you're in a good place. So yeah,
Hmm.
this is great section. I encourage everybody because so many people this is something that people say that they want when they come in. So definitely check out this section. And I do want to show people too that you can leave your comments here for Linda too. So please do leave her a comment when you try her recipe. Let her know, and yeah, let her know if you have questions for anything about the recipes. Let her know too. She's really great at responding and helping you out with her recipes too.
Yeah, and it's always nice. There are some people who leave their own photos from their creations. It's really nice
Yeah, nice
to
to see
share.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, okay. I've lost your video now, Linda. Is it
Yeah.
possible? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wait.
There we go.
Yeah. Okay. I'm there.
Okay, great. Um, so I'm so glad we got to show them your wonderful recipes. That was really important to me. That
Thank
part
you
of not
too.
capturing the video last week was just, that was the heart-wrenching part.
Yeah. Oh, it was. Yeah. Okay. But that's it.
Yeah, that was a magical interview, and then I was that was the part that was heart-wrenching. So, okay, is there anything else you'd like to show people?
Um. Yeah. We talked about the retreats already, but what I also do lately is once in a while treat myself with a retreat day. And it's something that comes out of this book we shared in the book club once.
Yeah.
What was it? Living the best year of your life
Is it
book, or
The Way of the Happy Woman?
The Way of the Happy Woman. Yeah,
You know, I'm glad
and
you brought up that book because to me, what you spoke about, I almost brought it up earlier. So I wouldn't mind showing that book, which is it's always a little challenging to find. I think it was in November. I might have to show a because it's not actually listed as a.
I think it's about two
I think it was
long time
this one.
ago.
Yeah, because I refer to it often. So. Yeah, it's this one. It was in November of does it say that when that was? Doesn't say the year. Maybe it says at the top of the thread. It's hard to see the date there. Oh, 2013. So it was a couple of years, a year and a half ago
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
Yeah, so one thing that you said earlier that really stood out to me was about holding some energy in reserve. And that was I believe that was one of Sarah Avant Stover's point. This book was pivotal, I think, for a lot of people in our membership community that read it with us. And I would highly recommend this book. And so this was one of her recommendations was retreat days too.
yeah. And it's really nice to treat yourself with a day, just a day off. Doing nothing is good too, but also, yeah, what I do is make nice meals, do a lot of yoga, do my nails, my toes, do really some retreat things, and it's really nourishing. It's so. Sometimes you can put in a week so many things for yourself, but it's always in a rush. So taking a day off, also from the computer or whatever, is I think it's really worth it.
Yeah.
So I can recommend it.
Yeah, that was one of her recommendations too, was taking a day
Yeah.
off of technology. So from the retreat, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 retreats now. As we said, the Embracing Self retreat is a beautiful one. I would highly recommend it. That was the first retreat on the membership site. There's a day of silence in there that is just gorgeous. It involves a lot of it goes back and forth between sitting and walking meditation. The nice thing about that is that you're inside and outside.
Yeah.
The Spring Clean retreat is a nice one for this time of year. Especially if you're looking for this time of year, I know I've been focusing a lot in our practice right now on nourishing, and there's been a lot of beginners practices, and there's been a lot of going in depth because that is where I'm at in my personal practice and in my body right now because of an injury. So if you're looking for more vigorous practice, more Kundalini practice, that kind of thing, the Spring clean retreat is probably where you would want to go. Because the spring is about renewal and regeneration and amping energy up again, no doubt. So there is that for sure too. So it depends on where you're at in your own, with your own needs as well. In the southern hemisphere, you're coming into winter, and so I would recommend the winter solstice retreat, because that is one to start that inward focus, and that's a gorgeous 1 day retreat there as well.
Yeah, fun too.
Yeah, and if you want some focus on parenting or your relationships, these are just amazing retreats as well.
Yep.
And then the New Year's retreat, there's nothing to say that you have to do that at the beginning of the year. Any time of the year is a good time to reboot, refocus. I just that can come any time of the year if you want to recommit to
transitioning into spring. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Same with the loving kindness retreat. Any time is a good time for self-care, self-love. So really any of these, and I love the idea of breaking them down. It can be, that is why I think recently when we've done the retreats, we've taken them down to 1 day as opposed to asking people to do a whole weekend. So these, I think, Linda, when you said about how there's enough content, these retreats are a way to take with the content. What we have done with these retreats is take content that we have and show you how you can do things for 1 day, right?
Yeah, sure, but also to look at it in another way.
And look at it in another way, exactly, and go deeper with content that already exists. So it's a great tool, and the most recent one we did was just in January. So it's a nice way to go more deep with content that exists, and as you say, look at it in a different way. So thanks for bringing that up. Is there anything else you want to show? And then I want you to have some time to talk a little bit more about your life as well.
Okay,
one more thing.
One more thing, and that is the Bhagavad Gita series. Because last week I attended the meetup for the first time, because it was also for a long time on my list to start it, but I didn't have the good book, and still I don't have. And I was like, okay, but it's too maybe it's too intellectual, and maybe it's not what I'm looking for, and I'm not a Hindu, and a lot of things around it. But then I think it was Erica in the interview. She mentioned it, and I was thinking like, okay, let's see. I just jump into the meetup, and it was so nice, because for 2 weeks or 3 weeks now I'm doing once in a while one of the classes, and it appealed to me already. But I was thinking, okay, I have to read the book first. But it's not true. You can also, like the meditation group, join the meetup, because you do such a great job by translating it into an everyday theme, which we can recognize all. We can all talk about our inner self or the struggles we have with something. So I liked it very much to talk about it with some other members, and I had a really good time. So I'm planning to join next time too. So it's just like, don't hold back when you want to. You can always get in too.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm really, really glad you brought this up. Molly and I do try to make it as accessible as possible for everybody. We do a yoga video on each chapter, a yoga class on each chapter. We do an overview of each chapter for you, as you can see here. We also, I put quotes up from each chapter, and we put the questions up for discussion prior to meeting for each chapter. And I do have to say that, like Linda said, our discussion centers around how the chapter from the Bhagavad Gita relates to your life. So, and that's not just because we're trying to make an esoteric text accessible. It's because this is a book, well, we would do that as well, but it's because this book is a guidebook for daily living as well. So more so than the Yoga Sutras, which is a guidebook on meditation. This and more of a philosophy book. This book is meant for the average person. It's meant for a yoga householder, so for a person living in the world, as opposed to somebody who's more interested in the philosophy of yoga. So it applies to all of us living lives with families and working. And it talks to us about how to live in the world. So to me, it's the most relatable and important book on yoga philosophy, and that's why it's so important to me. And when people come into the membership site, I hear in their introductions and when they write to me, when we ask them what they want to get out of the membership site, they do say that they want to deepen their study of yoga philosophy. And so that's why I chose this book as the one that we were going to study, because it's, to me, the most relevant one. So I'm glad to see interest being raised in this one. And you can join in at any time. It's like, it's like any spiritual text. You can open any spiritual text to any page and start reading. So it's like that. You don't, just because we're in chapter 11 now doesn't mean that you can't join in. So
yeah, and the themes are really nice. So also it's a nice part to, you can do it alone, you can meet up, or just make it your own study now, because there's
a whole back catalog. Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
I was really surprised that there were also yoga lessons, because I practices. I didn't think you had done that. So
so there's 8.
Great.
No, because we've done. Well,
there are 12 chapters already.
Yeah, so there's 12 classes, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, to support your study. And, to get a copy of the book, you can buy, you go to any used bookstore, you're going to find a copy of the Bhagavad Gita, but you can buy a copy of the one that we're recommending, Eknath Easwaran's Classics of Indian Spirituality, for less than $6 on Amazon.
Yeah, I saw it. So it's on my list.
And so even, everybody can read the Kindle edition on their computer. Everybody who has a membership has a computer or an iPad or some kind of device that they're watching the classes on their computers. So they can, I really feel that this is very accessible.
Yeah. No, it's nice that it's also good because there are so many translations of the Bhagavad Gita. So it's really nice that you made the choice for us. So this is an accessible writing, and it's also interesting into our modern world. So thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks. I'm so glad you brought that up. Yeah, and Eknath Easwaran's translation, I'm reading the English one, obviously, but as you say, it's available in several different languages.
Yeah,
I couldn't tell you how many, but if English isn't your first language, then you can get it in whatever language you want. Yeah, whatever your language is.
Yeah, that's funny, because I like to read it in English because it makes discussion easier.
Right.
It's funny because when I read it in Dutch and then I have to talk about it in English, it's really, sometimes it's complicated. So I stick to English. It's easier.
I know. I know. Erica's reading hers in English as well.
Yeah.
I asked her too. Yeah. Okay, so let's hear. Why don't you tell us a little bit about where you live and what what your life is like where you live and what you do outside of the membership site and all that good stuff.
Okay, I live in Rotterdam, in Holland, the Netherlands, and for 40 years or something now, I think. Yeah, I was born in a small village, but I'm a city girl in the end, but not in my heart. So that is, I say that because of a reason. My big dream is always to get back to a small house outside on a mountain or something. And I just heard Ivy talking about her Warwick Mountain. I was really like, oh, but we don't have mountains in Holland. No, but I really, I have a big compassion, or how do you say that? I love being in nature. I'm hiking. I'm biking. I always want to connect with nature because living in a big town is, yeah, it can be confusing for me, especially for me as a Vata, and also with my energy level. Sometimes it's easier to live on the countryside, but it's not the way. So I have to deal with this. So nature is a big love of me. Besides gardening, I have a small community garden which opened this today again for a new year. So I'm looking forward to that very much. I can go there. It's 5 minutes from my house. I have a small patch where I grow my own veg, and really that makes me so happy. And that's my also a big energy supplier to dig my hands into the earth. I live in Rotterdam with my son, Lucas. He's 19 already. Already.
How does that happen?
How did that happen? It goes so quickly. He's talking about leaving home already. So I'm really a bit of a, okay, good for you. No, it's a good, maybe it's, yeah, it's good. It's the time. And but it's, yeah, so that will come this year maybe. So I have a quite, I don't know what that is. Maybe that's my Vata thing too. But there's always, every year, there's some kind of big surprise. I think for 15 years, 20 years already, there's always something new. Never a dull moment. But okay, that's my life. I like it too. It's never dull. I love to travel. That's one of my passions too, besides cooking. And the traveling I like to do with Chris. Chris is my big love. He doesn't live with me in the same house, but we are together for 12 years already. Yeah. So yeah, traveling, cooking, gardening, nature. So yeah, I have and I'm really content with my life. Yeah, I think so. I don't work I don't earn money with a job, but I because of my energy levels, but I think I contribute a lot to society. Yeah, I don't. I had sometimes of guilt feelings like, oh, don't you work? No, I don't have a job, but I work a lot, but not for money. So I do a lot of other things, and I'm quite happy with that now. I have a blog, and that's very important too, to share my gluten-free recipes too. And just 2 months ago, I started to write my gluten-free cookbook. So that's really something now. It's not easy to accomplish, but I have quite some confidence that it's going to work. I'm writing it firstly for myself, publishing it for myself, but I have this voice coming stronger on now that I have to find a publisher, because there are so many people who tell me, you have to make this book happen, and so that's a bit exciting. Yeah, so I'm busy with this now.
Yeah, good
very
for you.
much. Yeah.
Yeah. And you've put together a recipe for your bread that you're selling at market too?
Yeah, but that was a big disaster.
Oh.
I made a, yeah, I told you about it. It is a great recipe for one bread, not for more, because
Oh,
then you
yeah.
really need a professional bread oven. So I tried to
Yeah.
bake 4 breads one time for a kind of tasting in a shop, and it was really nice, and a lot of people came, but the bread totally collapsed, and it was a big disaster. So that was
Yeah.
a
Yeah, it's a
okay.
big difference, yeah, to make one,
Yeah,
yeah.
and then it was also for me a wake up call like, hey, come on, maybe I'm not a baker. I don't want to be a baker.
Oh, that's
I
a
want to
whole other
share.
life.
That's another life. That's not what I want. I
That's an
discovered a great
exhausting life.
recipe. I want to share it,
Yeah.
but you can bake your own bread.
Good plan. Yeah.
So it was good. It was an adventure, but it was really quickly like,
Yeah.
not for me, not in this lifetime.
I think that was a good discovery.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and in time.
Yeah. Good. Smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we went over the hour again.
Yes.
So I want to
It's
thank you
great.
so much for your time today and for sharing your wisdom. And, you have transformed your life so beautifully through your practice. And I really thank you for sharing that transformation with our members on our membership site. And I would love for people to take the time now to write their comments for you and to let us know what stood out for you about Linda's transformation and what you learned today, what you learned about your membership site, maybe something new that you're going to check out as a result of listening to the interview, or any questions that you have for Linda. So we love hearing from you, and Linda would love to hear from you. So
Yep.
take the time, leave your comments, leave your questions, and we look forward to your feedback on this interview. So thank you, Linda. We appreciate you being with us, and thank you to everybody listening. And we will see you at the next interview.
Yes. Thank you too. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye.